Hello again. It's exciting times in the world of Mike's missions, where I've received 2 requests. First of all, my friend Andy Evers said, why don't you go as far away as possible in a day? I think he meant it in a nice way. I'm sure he did, really. Then Dave Manton suggested to me, why don't you go off and discover one of the most important railway structures in the world? So that's what I'm doing today. It's in the heart of England, beside one of Britain's busiest railway lines. Unfortunately, it's almost 60 years since a train last stopped there. So that's why I'm starting the day standing at this bus stop. So follow my journey, and I'm sure you're going to be surprised by this particular building we're seeking out. Thank you. Made it into Chesterfield town centre. I've got to look for our second bus of the day. In fact, I might not be in a rush to do that because I'm feeling a bit peckish. It might be breakfast time to make on my missions.
This is the 50 service.
Cheers, thank you. Lots of work going on here in Chesterfield town centre, in the marketplace. An alfresco breakfast to start the day. How about that? So yes, we are off to explore a very, very special railway structure today. It's a grade 2 star listed building, and it's got world importance. Now, it's not St Pancras in a fabulous station down there, and it's not Ribblehead Viaduct. It's somewhere right in the heart of England, in Derbyshire. So we're waiting for bus number 2 next, which is going to take us from Chesterfield down the old A61 road to Alfreton, and we're looking for number 55. Something strange about this direction sign in Chesterfield. You follow the sign from the town centre, you'd walk straight into a brick wall. The last time I caught a bus from this stop here in Chesterfield, it was a mango bus. So we'll see what sort of fruity transport we end up with today. Oh, no sign of any fruit, but this is my bus. So I couldn't possibly pass through Alfreton without showing you 3 very special features of the town. In fact, I'm stood right next to one of them now. Now, this old milepost might look normal and like something you've seen before. It's 200 years old, and it's telling you on one side that it's 16 miles to Nottingham. The surprise is on the other side. Alfreton, 0 miles. I think that confirms that we are in the centre of Alfreton. It's a quiet day on the high street here in Alfreton today. Now, just down the hill from the milepost, or the lack of milepost as it might be, is this wonderful building behind me. Stone built. It looks like a quirky detached house, but you wouldn't have wanted to stay here. "200 years ago, this was introduced in Alfreton as a house of confinement. In other words, it was a lockup. And if you were a local miscreant, ne'er-do-well or drunk, you could have had free board and lodgings here for a night before being dragged out to the court the following morning. House of confinement, look at it. Not many of these around these days. Apparently the last time this was used as a jail was in the First World War, when a soldier was put in here after overstaying his leave in Alfreton. It's been a listed building since August 1963. I'd love to see inside it, but there's no way of getting in that door. The third thing I need to point out to you in Alfreton is this building here. And the reason is, I used to work here. Now, I wasn't a body piercer, I wasn't a barber, but back in the late 70s, when I was a trainee journalist on the county weekly newspaper in Derbyshire, there was a branch office here in Alfreton, and I used to come here on holiday relief, covering when other journalists were off. So I spent a few weeks down here working in this building here. Who would have thought it would have become a body piercing place and a barber shop? Here's the Mango bus. I was thinking they might have been out of season in January. So after that pleasant little excursion around Alfreton town centre, it's back to the job in hand now, and Mike's mission today is to visit a globally important railway building, which is just 4 miles south of us here in Alfreton. But as I mentioned at the outset, despite it being at the side of one of Britain's busiest railway lines, no trains have actually stopped there for about 60 years. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
This is Pole Lane.
Well, we've just gone through a little village called Oakerthorpe. I've jumped off the bus here because I think this is where I need to walk a little to find our railway building. Here we are at Wingfield station. Never heard of it. Well, the chances are you've never caught a train here. But let's go and find out more. It's a bit muddy for the woodland walk today. I think I'll go there summertime. Little cobbles here. So it's time to explain all. Wingfield station, which you can see behind me, is recognised by historic England as the oldest completely original railway station building, not only in Britain but the whole world. It first welcomed passengers way back in 1840. Wow, can you imagine all those years ago, people queuing up here to buy tickets, and it was on the famous Midland Railway line. That's the famous crest of the North Midland Railway. the Derbyshire Deer, Arrows from Sheffield, and the Golden Fleece from Leeds. So here we are at Wingfield Station, where I found two gentlemen here. Now there's a porter here who doesn't seem to have much to say for himself. Yeah. But there's another guy at the side who I think might be able to give us a little bit of information about the place. So what's your name and what's your role here?
My name's John Abbott, and I'm one of the trustees of the Wingfield Station community charity that now run and operate the historic station in Wingfield.
Wow, good to meet you today. Are you here a lot of the time?
I'm here most of the time.
Yeah, I can imagine it's a project like that.
Yes.
So in a nutshell, what is so special about Wingfield Station?
Right. Wingfield Station is probably got 2 or 3 principal claims to fame.
Yeah.
Firstly, it's the last surviving station building of the Derby to Leeds North Midland Railway. It was one of the original 16 stations, and sadly is the only one left to survive.
Right.
All the rest have been demolished over the years. The second thing is that it's a beautiful and historic building in its own right, built in the Grecian style by the architect Francis Edward Thompson. So it's a small but beautifully formed railway station.
So it's very symmetrical.
Very symmetric, yes. And then the third thing is the station has never changed since the day it opened in 1840.
That's remarkable.
It is remarkable. Most stations have gone through considerable changes and alterations, whereas Wingfield is a bit of a time warp and structurally has never been added to or changed in any way. So it does make it, according to Historic England, now the world's oldest completely original railway station building.
Well, when it was built, there can't have been many railway station buildings elsewhere in the world, can there?
No, it's from the pioneering age of Britain's railways. So yeah, the period from sort of 1825 Stockton and Darlington, 1830 Liverpool Manchester, up to 1840 saw the first railways being constructed. And therefore a variety of different stations were constructed because there was no real blueprint for what a railway station should look like in those days.
And I understand this stone came from up the valley at Ashover.
Yes, that's right. The station stone out is beautiful ashlar stone, and you may be able to pick it up from your camera, but you'll notice it's all hand carved to perfect shape and size. And the front face of the stone has all been chiselled in this herringbone pattern to further add to the beauty of the building. It serves no functional purpose at all, but other than purely decorative.
Yeah. So when was the last railway service that actually stopped here then? When was the last train to pull into Wingfield Station?
Right, the last train officially called here on the 31st of December 1966 at precisely 16 minutes past 6.
Yeah.
And it was a local service from Chesterfield to Derby, and that was the last train to stop here. And the station officially closed 2 days later on the 2nd of January. 1967, but because there was a public holiday called the bank holiday for the New Year's Day, effectively it was the 31st of December.
And so how many trains whiz by in a day now then?
Oh right, well during the daytime hours you have a core passenger service of 6 trains an hour, so that's 2 Sheffield to London intercities in each direction, and then 2 long distance cross country services from Edinburgh to Plymouth and Plymouth to Edinburgh. So that's your core service of 6 an hour, and then in addition to that obviously you get some freight trains and also some network rail trains and also some empty stop movements.
And I bet the dream of all the volunteers here is to see a train stop here again one day.
Yes, it would be lovely to think one day our station would reopen. I think sadly the chances of that are very remote.
No, there's not the call for it in Oakerthorpe, is there?
That's right, yes, because I don't think it would either have the physical space to
Yeah.
accommodate a modern railway station, or probably the demand
Yeah.
to justify all the expense.
Now, something else I need to ask you is, and I've been told you sell wonderful cakes and coffees in here, and there's a number, is it 1947 that's linked to the cafe? What's the relevance of that?
So we named our small community charity Wingfield Station 1947 principally because in the goods shed, which is in the building next door to the main station building, we in 2023 started constructing a model of Wingfield Station set in the year 1947.
I see. Yeah.
So when we came to form our little charitable organisation, we decided to adopt that as the name of our charity.
That explains it. Lovely.
Yeah. But you're quite right. The day-to-day, 5 days a week, the station acts as a small community facility and also tea room, where obviously our volunteers serve teas, coffees, hot chocolates, cold drinks, and a whole variety of savoury and sweet offerings, including cakes. Yeah.
Well, I think my name's on a hot chocolate now, but I'm going to have a little look round first. And thanks so much for your help and explaining all about the history of Wingfield Station.
Well, it's a pleasure to welcome you to the station today.
Good to see you. Thank you. Bye. So there we are. We know all about Wingfield Station and its importance in the world of railways. Wherever you go in the world, you'll not find a station building older than this. And look, there's a little plaque there. I'm sure the volunteers here are up for all sorts of awards. Right, let's have a look how close we are to the tracks. Obviously very close. You can imagine the Victorians walking around here waiting to catch their exciting railway journey. Isn't it a beautiful, symmetrical building? Of course, on Mike's missions we can't go anywhere without it being bin day. Let's have a look inside and see if we can locate that hot chocolate that's waiting for me. So I've decided to go for this irresistible raspberry cake. Look at that. Thank you very much. I understand you have a model railway here as well. Can you tell me which way it is? Okay, I'll find it myself, I'm sure. So, Wingfield Station may be small, but it is perfectly formed. But there's something even smaller scale in here. So how have you enjoyed today's Mike's Missions and a trip here to Wingfield Station? Isn't it a surprising little place? I'm going to come back in summertime and enjoy these gardens as well. I might even see you here. Cheers, bye. See you again, mate. I'm sure you're going to like and subscribe, aren't you? Good lad, thank you, bye.